Hi, it's Cammy. Charlie talks football.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Charlie Talks Football. Bad news, looks like for Newcastle on the Benjamin Cesco deal, more transfer news going on. So if you're new around here, make sure to subscribe and let's get into the video. So it's now been reported by Craig Hope, like many expected, that there is a feeling around Newcastle that Benjamin Sesko would rather pick Man United over Newcastle now. Yeah, I think that's what I always thought, that he was going to choose Man United. I know it hasn't been confirmed yet, so there's still, some hope for Newcastle. But I think Romano said multiple times that Newcastle were willing to offer, everything Cesco wanted. They were willing to pay the price that Leipzig wanted. They were willing to give him, however much money he wanted. So the fact that he's delaying this probably means that he's waiting on Man United to do stuff. So it's not completely over yet, but it's not a good sign. So let us know what your thoughts are on that situation. But linking to that, Craig Hope has also said that Newcastle have made an inquiry for Rodrigo Munoz. He's the Brazilian striker of Fulham. We've been interested in him before to just see, how much would he be available for. So, I think that says to me that Newcastle probably think that Cesco's going to be joining Man United if they've made an inquiry for Munoz, which I think they have. So yeah, it's turning into a disaster of a transfer window. I've actually, been counting how many players have been rejected by. I think it's been like 6 or 7 players so far. So he would also join that list. But yeah, it's not great. We've got to. If Cesco doesn't want to join us, just walk away from the deal, move on to other targets now. Nicholas Jackson from Chelsea still is a potential target. We've been in contact with his agents multiple times. I'm not going to pretend it would be, a brilliant signing, but I don't know, as you can tell by my face, I'm frustrated, but we'll see what happens with Cesco. He'll have to make a decision soon, and that also connects to Isak, because as you know, there have been now new reports saying that Isak has already agreed personal terms with Liverpool on a 5-year contract until 2031, and Liverpool are apparently willing to pay all the money that Isak wants, which is around 300 grand a week. So yeah, there's a lot of things that could happen. Possibly if we don't get Cesco, we might go for Munoz or Jackson. But if we do get Cesco, then I do think Isak will definitely leave. But if we don't get Cesco, there's a chance that he might still stay at the club for one more season, which I don't think there's any point in that, considering, I wouldn't want to keep an unhappy player at the club for another year. So that's all the latest. It's a frustrating situation. I'm just going to mention that Aaron Ramsdale has completed a deal to join Newcastle on a loan deal with an option to buy, so he's landed in Newcastle today to do his medical. What are my thoughts on that? I think it's an alright signing. It's no disrespect to Ramsdale, it's not the most exciting signing, someone who's going to come in and be the second choice goalkeeper to Nick Pope, but hopefully we can get some more signings in the door. We also played in a friendly out in Korea against the K-League All-Stars. We lost 1-0, but I saw that a lot of people were commenting about Park Sung-Yu, I think his name is, the Korean winger who was signed. Apparently he came on and played well, so that's good to see him. What are your thoughts on that? Would you loan him out, or do you think, does he, after that performance, maybe deserve some opportunities off the bench in the first team? So comment down below on all that stuff. I'll keep you updated, but as it stands, it looks like Cesco won't be going to Newcastle and will be joining Man United. But what he thought has been an extremely difficult window for Newcastle so far. Apparently, the chairman of Newcastle, Yasser El Rumen, is trying to get involved to convince Isak to stay, but it's not been an ideal transfer window. The season, it's not long now until the season starts, but Newcastle will have other targets other than Cesco, but it would be another blow if he was to choose Man United over Newcastle, and I think he will, in my opinion, choose Man United just because of the fact he, still hasn't decided, despite Newcastle basically doing everything we can to get him. So what are your thoughts on that? Make sure to subscribe. We're trying to get 3,000 subscribers, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.